Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about all the books that I read in the month of September and also going to be talking about my October TBR. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and if you like my content, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you are a subscriber, you might know that I make separate videos, as in like I make a separate wrap-up video and then a separate TBR for the upcoming month video. But I just sort of miscalculated. I ran out of time and I was like, okay, let me just combine both of these videos and talk about all the things in one video. First, we are going to take a look at what I read in the month of September, and then we are going to talk about my October TBR. But if you are only interested in watching my October TBR, then I will leave the exact timestamp in the description so you can just click on it and jump right to that part. Anyway, let's talk about what I read in the month of September. The first book that I read was Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë. It actually was a continuation from the previous month, that was August. It feels as if it has been a year already. I have actually made a complete review about it, and I will leave the link up here if you are interested in checking that out. But in short, I absolutely love the book. It's based in Yorkshire moors, and it's basically about revenge, betrayal, love, envy, and all that. But just a heads up, if you are going to read this book, then don't go with an intention of reading a love novel or a romance novel, because it isn't that. It's not about that. I have read so many reviews on Goodreads and people say that they didn't like it at all because it's not necessarily a love story. It's not, I don't know why it's publicized like that, but it's actually a revenge story. It's all about the ups and downs that comes in a person's life, and it's also about how revenge just ruins the lives of not the person who is seeking the revenge, but also the people around that person and the families around it. And it's also about how we all are innately good. We are born with innate goodness in us, but then later on, as we grow into adults, the people around us, the situations around us, and our own life choices make us who we are in our adult life. It's just a really nice novel about human emotions, human psychology, and all that kind of stuff. And I really liked how it's a really slow-paced novel, by the way. So if you're looking forward to reading a really fast-paced story, don't expect it at all, because it's really slow and it just describes everything, like the moors and the weather and just the entire setting. But it's a really beautiful novel. Once you get into the novel, it just really hits the right spots and you start loving it. But I really hated this one character. If you have read the book, you know what I'm talking about. Now, moving on to the next book. The second book that I read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I have also done a detailed review about this book. Leave the link here if you are interested in checking out what the book is about. I have basically summarized the entire book. So if you are interested in knowing what this book talks about, or if you have been thinking of reading it and you don't have any time, you can also check it out, because I have just, shared all the important points, the main points the book talks about. I am besotted with this book, if the term is correct. I definitely recommend this book, especially to females out there, because it's really important to have financial education, financial literacy. It's really important to know where our money is going. And even if you are not practically implementing the things that are taught in this book, it's really important to know about finances and how things work, how money works, basically. So it's a really good book, and it's written in a really simple and easy way. So anyone who is not from a finance background or business background can understand this. It's filled with so much wisdom. Like every page you are learning something new about something that you didn't know about, obviously. And yeah, you should definitely read it. There are actually a lot of mixed reviews about it. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it, and I don't really understand why people don't like it. I come from a completely non-finance, non-business background, so I didn't have any idea as to what finances are and how money works and stuff like that. So it was really informative for me. Now, coming towards the third book that I read in the month of September, The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I actually really liked it. It's again also a classic, and it also is set in Yorkshire. What I really don't understand is why it is considered a children's classic, because there are a lot of controversial things in this book. I was reading it and I was like, wow, is it considered a children's book in a world where everything is considered controversial these days? I don't really understand, but I feel like this is definitely not a children's book if you are not telling them what is right and what is wrong. If, like, children's minds are really gullible, you know, they are easily influenced by things, and if you give them this book and you don't tell them that there are certain things wrong in this book, or if you don't have a conversation with them afterwards, then this could definitely have a bad impact on their minds. I wasn't considering it to be really heavy on the mind or on my emotions, which it isn't, and it also talks about mental health and stuff, which is a great thing. But at the same time, there are a lot of controversial stuff. I am thinking of making a detailed review about this, so maybe it will be posted later on in the month of October, or maybe later on sometime this year, whatever is left of it. Now, talking about the final book that I am currently reading in the month of September, The Goldfinch by Brontë. If you saw my August TBR, then you would know that this has been in my TBR since August, and I actually started reading it in August, but then it's so big that it was keeping me away from reading other books. So I put it down, and now I have picked it back up again for September. This is the last week of September when I'm making this video, so it's going to be my read for this week. So that was my September wrap up. I did pretty good. I'm actually really happy with the way things went in September. Now, this section of the video is going to be about what I'm going to be reading in the month of October, my October TBR. Let's go. I want to explain why I have chosen only 2 books this month. October and November are going to be really busy for me, so I won't have a lot of time on my hands to read that many books. If you want to know what I'm reading in a particular week, then you can follow me on Instagram, because I constantly update what I'm reading and when I'm reading it. Or you can also follow me on Goodreads if you're not on Instagram. So I will leave the link to both of the sites in the description. You can go ahead and follow me there. Now, coming to what I'm reading in the month of October, the first book is The Charisma Myth by Olivia Fox-Cabane. I have heard a lot of people talk about this, and I have heard good reviews about it. What I have been thinking quite recently, actually, was the fact that some people, when they enter into a room or when you meet them, they have this general air of self-confidence that whatever they are going to say or whatever they are going to do, they know 100% about that thing. And it's just such a contagious kind of trait, and I think that it's such an important part of a personality. And Olivia Fox-Cabane says that it's there in everybody. People can learn it. People can learn to be charismatic, which sort of sounds a bit far-fetched. I don't know. I am pretty confused. I am in the middle. I kind of think that it is there in certain people and it's not there in certain. But I also think that it could be learned. Maybe. We will know about that after reading this book. Now, the second book that I have decided for the month of October is again a classic. I'm on a roll, you know. I have been reading classics since August, or maybe even before that. I have read quite a few classics this year. I'm proud of that. The classic that I have chosen is an absolute classic. It's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I have been meaning to read Jane Austen since forever. I remember reading her name, watching her little portrait in my history class, in the history textbook. And I was intrigued because there were 5 portraits of male writers, and then there was this one portrait of female writer. And I was instantly intrigued. I was like, who is this lady? And then we read about Jane Austen and who she was and stuff like that. I have read about Pride and Prejudice quite a few times, again in history textbooks, but I never really got my hands onto it, and I finally did, and I'm excited to read it. I don't know a lot about it except for the fact that it's a romantic novel, and it's considered one of the best romantic classic novels out there, and obviously it's a classic, and it's written by Jane Austen. That's how much I know about this. So these are the 2 books I have decided for the month of October. I'm actually looking forward to reading both of these because both of these books are really interesting. But the first task is finishing this massive beast. It's like getting on my nerves now. So that's pretty much it for this video. I actually really enjoyed talking about so many books in one single video. Tell me in the comments below which book you are reading in the month of October and what did you read in the month of September. Also, if you have read any of the books from the pile that I shared with you, just tell me what's your favorite and which book you liked or disliked. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so by clicking the red subscribe button down below. And if you liked my video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. You can follow me on my socials. The links are in the description and I will also leave the handles on the screen. And I will see you guys really soon, inshallah. Till then, take care. God bless you. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.